How are you today? It's the weekend, nearly. Miserable weather, bit grey and overcast, but who cares? It's nearly the weekend, right? Great day for us. We love a Friday. It's when we get everybody out viewing, hopefully for the Saturday. If you just started watching, it's Ken at 10. Nice to virtually meet you. I'm here every day at 10 o'clock talking about the UK market. Here I am based in SW16. We're selling, letting, and talking about life in general as well. So I hope you're having a good day so far. We're all set and ready. We tend to get busy within the next hour. Funny thing about Fridays, we're really busy sort of phoning out and trying to get people out viewing in the mornings, and in the afternoons tend to tail off a little bit. It's a little bit quieter, and that gives us some time to catch up with vendors and the like. I'll talk to you about a few things today. So first of all, house price data. A lot of people talking about house prices and how house prices fell in May. And you really got to put this into perspective. Remember, we were in lockdown in May, and it's not surprising that the sales from March, which would have come through in May, are lower because some vendors and some chains were panicked into selling for lower figures, of course. And this has had the effect of prices looking like they've fallen quite dramatically. But I think you have to weigh that against really May during lockdown. First of all, we're on much, much lower volumes than we normally would be. And if you're on lower volumes, then the value of the data, i.e. the volume of houses isn't as many. So therefore, any skew in prices can look quite dramatic. And of course, the media love a dramatic headline. And that's why you've seen these big fall-offs, which look really scary in some places. And I mean, we've had one where a vendor was kind of forced into a corner, really wanted a house they were buying, and against our advice took a really large price drop. And that was frustrating for us and hugely frustrating for them too. Hate that. I'd much rather, in a way, my clients pulled out and we started again because it doesn't seem fair. And in fact, we've done that on a couple of occasions. And what we found is that the prices we've now achieved are at least as good or better than was achieved before. So don't be scared by your agent into making a rash move. Quite often, it's more about the marketing and the attitude of the person you're dealing with, the agent, and where they see the market. Because, you know, as I've said many times, we are looking at smaller volumes, yes, but also that means there are less houses available. If there are less houses available, then that will help sustain pricing. And of course, rental, really, really busy, mad busy at the moment on the letting side. So if you're thinking of renting something, do give us a call. I had a valuation yesterday. I've got to talk about this valuation yesterday. I went to see a lady, and she's got a leasehold property, and we talked about the lease, and there are a few issues with it. And I made some suggestions and suggested that, as beautiful as the flat was, now wasn't actually the time to be selling it. My valuation wasn't the highest either. It was in the middle. But most importantly, it was the case that because of the lease situation, I knew that if we took this property on, it's very likely that at a later stage in the transaction, it will fall through. So the best thing she could possibly do is actually address the lease issue now, and I explain how to do this. And it's awful giving people bad news, but I think the important thing is to tell the truth and tell them like it really is. And she said, you know what, Ken, of all the agents I've seen, I really, really like you and trust you because I can see you're not just trying to get me to sign on the dotted line. And some others had been round and given high valuations and hadn't made any mention of the fact that this was a massive problem, which what would likely have happened is that she would have gone on the market with an agent who would have sold the property. And then just at the last minute, this detail would have come up. And then at that point, the buyers will pull out, and then she's back to square one. So she was really appreciative and actually said at the end, look, I must review you. And she called the office afterwards and said, where can I put a review for your company? I'm really delighted. Ken's just been round. And I said to her, it's really delightful that I can walk in your place with a cover over my face, look like a bank robber, and you say that you've enjoyed the visit. So that was great. And sometimes it's not all about just getting things on the market. It's about giving the best advice. And if that means we don't get a sale right now, but we've provided the best advice, I'm happy with that all day, every day. Another couple of things. The Go Green for Grenfell. I mentioned this briefly yesterday. There's something that's happening this Sunday, and I think it's a really lovely thing and something we can all do to support the victims of Grenfell. A really simple thing, but could be really effective if we all partake. Basically what they're asking us to do at 10:30 p.m. on Sunday, that's the 14th, this Sunday, switch off all of your lights. I'm going to put a link below this so you can see what they're asking you to do, and then log on to their page with your computer and put that computer near to a window, open your curtains, drop the lights, and what it will give is a green glow through your window, and it will show support for the victims of Grenfell. And I'd love to see that happen all over Norbury, all over South London, all over the country, if not the world, actually, just to show that solidarity and support for that awful tragedy that in many ways was unnecessary. So that's on Sunday, 10:30. Make sure you do that. Love to see you. And also, there are some other things going on. I'll reshare the whole post for you so that you can support, maybe financially, but at least on Sunday, we can all do that together and feel like, you know, we're supporting that terrible tragedy. So that's that. Apart from that, I want to talk about rest. You know, work's really important and we work really hard. And if you're like me and you've furloughed staff, you probably never worked as hard before for years. And that is, you know, I'm not complaining. Look, I'm healthy, I'm well, got great business, work with lovely people and love my job. So I'm not complaining, but I do think rest is just as important as work. And coming up to the weekend, I was just thinking how important my Sunday is to me and how I use that Sunday for me time, you know, with the wife. Love reading the Sunday papers, going for a run, playing my saxophone. It's a day, it's a kind of me day in a way, a little bit selfishly, but so important because come Monday, I feel really energized and ready to go. So I think make sure if you are working hard as we are, and it's especially hard now because you can't get into your normal routines, try and find ways to enjoy it when you do get spare time. Excited about Monday, of course, with all non-essential shops reopening. That's good news, isn't it? I mean, we think it's great news anyway. I know social distancing, we still got the 2-meter rule, but we've got to be sensible about this. You know, we don't want the second wave. Hopefully, it's the beginning of the end of this thing. Whatever you're doing this weekend, I hope you have a great weekend. If you need anything property or just want to chat, you know we're at the end of the phone and we love talking property. Have a fantastic weekend and have a fantastic day. Speak to you tomorrow.